Hey, people. So, we did something a little different,
We did.
and we read the very first Dark Shadows novel,
Ooh.
just called Dark Shadows by Marilyn Ross,
I was a little,
loosely based on the show.
yes, yeah. I was a little uncertain about reading it because I didn't know if it would kind of confuse what we're watching or if it would be just annoying to be
Follow
reading a
two
total
parallel
different
plot
thing
lines at
with
the
the
same
same
time.
same people, but they weren't all the same people.
Mm-hmm.
There were some new characters
It
and
was
not so
mostly the
much of
same, mostly the main characters, and then some other new main characters, and then even the ones that were main characters from the TV show are slightly different characterizations sometimes. So some of them anyway.
right.
But yeah,
So Vicky comes to
it's kind of a similar.
Colin's house. Is that what they call it?
They call it Colin's house instead of Colinsport, which is
Or
interesting.
Colin Wood.
Colin Wood. Yeah, Colinsport is Colinsport.
Yeah.
Colin Wood is Colin's house. 2 words. So that's kind of strange. I'm wondering if it was based off of early maybe script ideas or something. I'm not sure how the behind the scenes of the book and how it got written and kind of came out so early in the show, but before the show was even really super popular.
Right.
Yet. So.
Well, they added a few characters. So we meet Will Grant. Is that his last name?
Will Grant. Yeah.
Will Grant?
Was he the lawyer?
He's a lawyer, and he meets her early on. Kind of her taxi gets a flat tire or something. And he comes and saves the day. He's like kind of a hunky hero that comes and saves things.
He's no Frank Garner though.
But who is?
That's true.
And then there's an extra sibling. He's a sibling, right?
He's a cousin. I'm not sure what the family tree is
cousin
there.
Or
yeah, how any of that
call
works.
Him cousin. So yeah. Ernest.
I think it's Elizabeth's cousin. He's younger because he's Victoria's age, so maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. Elizabeth calls him cousin.
Yeah.
Not nephew or anything.
No. And he and Vicky strike up kind of a friendship right off, and she's intrigued because he's this like famous violinist, and she kind of has
with a dark past.
They have kind of a romance that blooms fairly quickly, and Roger is a bit of a different character. He's kind of flirty and.
Yeah, I think they were kind of painting him almost like a Tony Stark kind of like ladies' man. Very sexual and like he was like hitting on Victoria at one point, wasn't
it?
Which was awkward to watch.
So it was not him, but him in the book.
Him, but yeah, most of the other people were fairly close. Like you could picture the actors saying the lines and kind of behaving similarly, except for I guess Roger was definitely the biggest one, but I think everyone else was the same.
And Matthew was there, but only a little bit, right?
So they called him Matt Morgan.
Right.
Instead of Matthew Morgan. He was Matt Morgan.
He wasn't in it much. And then
he was barely in it. Burke was in one
didn't show up until like the very end. And it was...
Yeah, just as just some random guy in town. I don't think they said anything about him. We didn't get any backstory. There was none of the him and Roger history. There wasn't like he didn't come to Colinsport with Vicky like he did in the show. It was just a guy she met. I guess
they maybe just kind of threw him in there to set up his character for another book.
Perhaps, yeah.
But we'll see him more later. That's my prediction.
Okay, good prediction. I don't think we didn't have a Joe. There wasn't even a mention of Joe Haskell. There was a Maggie. Maggie was in it, wasn't she?
I don't
Maggie
remember.
In it? Maybe not. I know Sam wasn't in it.
Well, who did because they went to the Blue Whale and Will was there and he was chatting away with Vicky and Carolyn was there with someone. Who was she there with? Wasn't Joe? Someone else?
I don't remember.
Are we getting into the plot at all of the story?
Yeah, so it's.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, it's sort of loosely based on the show, and that Vicky's coming to work as a governess at Colinsport, and she doesn't know anything about her past, and she thinks she'll find answers, and she's constantly thinking everything. Everything. Oh, well, that must because everyone has secrets, of course, and so every time someone has a secret, she's like, oh, is that because they're connected to my past and they know about my past or something about my past? And it's like, okay, not everything's about you, Vicky.
She thinks it is.
But
early on, she goes down into the cellar and gets hit over the head. And they kind of blame it on David, but she's like, doesn't really want to blame it on David, but she doesn't want to start
she knows it wasn't
trouble.
David.
Yeah. She's not sure what's going on. So, and then they kind of talk about Ernest and his wife who had died, and then this girl.
He had a couple scandals, didn't
Yeah, there was a girl who was kind of. She wasn't living with him, right? She was doing
Stella? Is
painting.
that her
Yeah,
name?
Stella, and she ended up dying. Oh, went off the cliff.
he? Yes.
Yes, and then there was
Widow's
another
Peak.
girl who was kind of getting close to him,
Right.
and she got beaten or something.
Yeah.
So they're kind of
because he moved away from Collinsport out to
Mhm.
California or something, and she got like beat to death, and so it's like. Was it Will Grant, the lawyer, was
Mhm.
thinking that he was doing it himself, and he was like kind of went crazy after his wife died, and so he was
every time he got
yeah.
close to somebody else,
Yeah,
he like couldn't take it anymore.
and so he's getting close to
so
Vicky. So Will Grant's like, you need to stay away from him because he's dangerous. Because you're and Vicky someone keeps trying to kill her.
Someone comes into her room
Mm-hmm.
mysteriously, and then Liz finds that there's like a corridor, secret corridor that comes through, and so she comes out of there
and stuff. That was exciting.
Yeah, and the painting there was a painting from Stella that gets destroyed, and all this stuff kind of swirling around and happening, and
Ernest being all suspicious and weird, and
he goes away for a little while to play some concerts or whatever, so he's gone for a bit, and then Will comes in and tries to warn Vicky about getting close to him and all those stories, and so I don't know, should we
give away the ending?
Okay, we're giving away the ending,
spoil
guys.
the ending. Stop the video now.
If you don't want to hear.
If you don't want to hear this, the secret. This is a cool twist. You might want to save it if you don't. Okay. So who was trying to kill Vicky all along?
Elaine. Who
turns out wasn't dead.
Yes, it was the wife of Ernest.
She was because it was a car accident, wasn't it? And then she
was like disfigured, whatever, and
so she was sent to like was Elizabeth that sent her away, or someone sent
Elizabeth
her?
Was supposed to send her away.
But
then never did.
Right,
and
to
kept
like an
her,
asylum or hospital.
Kept her around, but she kept getting out or whatever, and trying to kill Vicky, presumably because she was getting close. Yeah,
she was in like the Ernest. Secret, the closed off wing of the house. She was like being held there.
And that's who was in the cellar, and that was who, whatever. So, and then at the end, she like chases Vicky upstairs or out onto this like outdoor walkway, like up above, kind of like a balcony area.
Yeah, what do they call it? Some sort
parapet? No.
Castle something or something like whatever the landing on the roof.
Yeah,
of the
and
house.
then she almost gets Vicky off and like off the roof, and then but she ends up falling off. Elaine ends up falling off.
So Elaine is dead for sure.
I think so. So hopefully maybe Ernest is set free from his guilt or whatever he was going on with him, and he can maybe
have a romantic relationship with
I don't
Vicky.
remember how it ended with them, if they decided that they were going to do, or they were going to just like see what happened, or I don't know. Remember?
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But there you have it.
Yeah. What are your predictions for a second novel in the series?
Well, I said more of Burke, but I don't know if
the second novel is called Victoria Winters, so it's presumably about her. Like I said, the first one was just called Dark Shadows. The second one's just called Victoria Winters.
Well, then I don't know. I predict it will be about Victoria Winters.
Is she gonna hook up with Ernest and?
I don't know.
Live happily
I think they're
ever
going to throw someone else.
Someone else is going to try and kill her. Who knows?
Maybe she's going to find out who she is already.
We're going to maybe there will be no Ernest, and we'll just develop on the characters from the show, or maybe Burke will finally come into prominence.
There are a lot of options there.
It's exciting.
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, me too.
Well, if you like reading, then
and you like Dark Shadows.
There you go, Dark Shadows.
And if you can find a copy,
novel.
I think they did audiobooks recently of these, so they might be a little easier to find than getting this old 60s. I have it. This is actually
it smells good, like
an
old book.
Yep, and this is I have a first printing.
Ooh.
As well.
We're so fancy over here.
December 1966. The oldest book I have, I think.
All right. Whew. Enjoy.
Stinky. Bye.
Bye.